Hello, I'm Jeannie Schmidt, and I'm so thankful and grateful to be with you today. The topic that I'm going to be sharing is 7 things not to say to someone diagnosed with cancer. If your loved one is diagnosed with cancer, the pit in your stomach is real. You think this just can't get any worse, and then it does. As you begin to share the reality of your journey with others, oh dear sweet humans, they say unhelpful things. I don't think they mean to inflict pain with their statements or questions, but they could do better with some forethought. So let's take a moment to educate ourselves and others about 7 things not to say when someone is diagnosed with cancer. The first point to talk about is the statement that God won't give you more than you can handle. You know what? He might. Living in this broken world, you may very well be dealt with something exceptionally difficult that requires strength beyond yourself to handle. The often quoted verse in 1 Corinthians 10:13 is about temptation, not challenges, and having choices to make when confronted with temptation. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. God will allow the giant challenges in your life. He will give you more than you can handle. In fact, the Bible is full of people and examples where God gave folks more than they thought they could handle. Think about David or Goliath. How about Joseph, Mary, Job? The list goes on. But God is there for everyone who calls upon his name. The next point is the statement that says God picks the strongest to show his others his true power. You know what? God is all about love and wholeness and ultimately perfection. He does not delight in picking people to suffer. So do not think that a statement like this to someone diagnosed with cancer is a compliment. He is not punishing you if you have cancer. He loves you and he hurts when you hurt. In the Psalms, we are reminded that he bottles our tears because God is for us. A helpful statement would be to speak about a specific way you see God's power through the person on the cancer journey. The next one is, but you look so healthy. Is that a compliment? I suppose one might think it is, but it feels like a bit like, ooh, you've got a great personality, when what's happening is people are really talking about beauty. When you have cancer and there is a battle raging inside of you, you are keenly aware of it. A battle that no hairstyle or eyeshadow or cover up will help. And the cancer patient is not healthy. One popular definition of healthy is without disease. So, looks are deceptive. A better compliment avoids the word healthy. However, here's a few suggestions. You look great in that color. Or how about your eyes seem to sparkle today? Or maybe thanks for being here. I'm so glad you were part of the event. It is such a blessing to see you come into the room and see your smile just light up. The next question that I get asked a lot is, will you lose your hair? A woman is not Samson. She will not lose her power if someone cuts her hair or she loses every strand. There is no need to speak about the cancer patient's hair with so many other positive things to discuss. So even though your friend may or may not lose their hair during chemotherapy, discussion of hair loss, except for those closest to her, is out of bounds. The next one, my friend had breast cancer and she ... Everyone's story is unique and personal. To someone who is physically and emotionally tired, a story about another friend's cancer journey may make them feel like a comparison, a bar that they now have to jump over. A better encouragement is to join them in their personal journey and remind them of their strength and how loved they are. The next point is, where somebody comes up and says, hey, I read an article about ways you can eat or a supplement you can take or an exercise you can do. Those are all nice suggestions, and they might be helpful, but they may not be best for every person. There's a lot of misinformation out there about what works and what doesn't work, and each person is designed differently and is on a different path. The best thing you can do is not offer any advice about any part of their treatment. What works for one person may not work for others, and changing courses outside her prescribed plan could lead to unexpected issues. But most importantly, each treatment plan is unique and should fit with the plans set up between you and your doctor. Avoid sharing what you may think are tips or tricks when talking to someone with cancer. And the last but not least, the question, does cancer run in your family? The trauma of getting a cancer diagnosis leads to many, many emotions. And the last thing that person needs is another something to do, like a cancer hunt. It will only lead to more stress, worries, and fear of what the future might hold. Now they need to worry about passing it down to their kids. Oh my gosh, how awful to consider that. She has enough on her plate. Rather than adding ways to the challenges the cancer patient is facing, consider ways you can support organizations and what you can do to specifically and tangibly help that person. There are many organizations out there which provide encouragement, funding, and ongoing services, and lots of practical needs for a family coping with a cancer diagnosis. You can always pray for her. God is at work and loves her and her family very much. Join them in prayer for healing, strength, wisdom, and power to move beyond this disease. Feel free to share this article with others to improve the level of respect to those with cancer. Some people just don't know any better, but they can now. Let's help everyone be mindful of what they are saying to a woman with cancer. I'm a certified coach and a 2-time cancer survivor who guides women through cancer diagnosis, treatment journey, or recovery to instill hope and comfort using practical methods and tools in my book, Divine Drift.